Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. I'm Chris and I love sharing quick and easy painting techniques that are going to make your projects look amazing without stress. Today I'm going to show you a simple trick for painting those tiny shapes that usually make us cringe. It's so easy and impressive, you'll be wondering why you didn't try it sooner. Layered pieces are super trendy right now, and adding little embellishments really ramps up any project. It looks fantastic. However, trying to paint them, trying to juggle the pieces, hang on to them, and keep those side edges clean and crisp can be a real challenge. Having those messy edges just diminishes the look of the piece. It's so very frustrating. So I'm going to share with you a very simple trick that will make painting these small pieces absolutely fantastic. Now the first thing you want to do is anchor the pieces down so you don't have to hang on to them with your fingers. I just take a piece of tape and loop it in a circle, and you can just stick it onto your tabletop or your surface where you're painting. That works pretty well. However, no. My favorite thing to do is to I use an acrylic block, but you can use a piece of cardboard, anything that is easy to hang on to, and just put the tape right on that. If you need to turn the piece around just to make it easier to paint, it's perfect. I'm going to use my fingers. I load my finger no differently than a brush. You don't want to overload it. Too much paint, it's going to drip down the edge. I have a very, very gentle touch. Look how quickly I can cover that. Now, if it takes 2 coats with a paintbrush, it's going to take 2 coats with your finger. So give it a good dry, and you can feel it's just a whisper of a touch, just a gentle touch. Make sure it is nice and dry, and then look at the edges on that. It is almost perfect because you can feel it with touch. You know exactly how much pressure is being applied. This will work on any small shape. Just a very gentle. I'm not going fast. I just want to take my time and touch it down. However, I could paint 10 pieces perfectly before you can get one intricate snowflake painted. It just goes so very quickly. The only thing I have to do after I put the base coat on is just go back and add a few little red stripes. Look at the edge. That is just amazing, a real game changer. Painting tiny berries for a wreath or holly can be a frustration because there's usually quite a few. This simplifies it so much. Makes them perfect. It's easy to go in and add detail, comma strokes, or just to shade and highlight. When you're doing a multitude, this really can speed things up. Give it a quick dry and look at the edges on that. They are going to look so good every single time. Small, thin lettering can be done with a triangle cosmetic sponge. But when they're really tiny, that just kind of smooshes the paint down the side edges. If you use your finger and just gently touch, it will be perfect. And I have a whisper of a touch. And I did this lettering rather quickly. I should have went back and done a couple coats, but I wanted to just give a good example of how quickly it can be covered. And you can see I'm not going fast. I don't have a lot of paint on my finger, just a very thin skim of paint, very light touch. Reload often, and realistically it should dry and have a second coat added to give it a more opaque, solid coverage. I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit of a deeper color, just tapping it across the bottom. This is a super quick way, even on these little teeny tiny pieces, to add a beautiful ombre effect. And it's just such a light touch, just a whisper of a touch. After that dries, I'm going to go back and just use a hint of paint and highlight the top part of the lettering. And this looks a little bit strong. As it dries, the saturation will tone down. But I've quickly added the paint, and then I'm just going back across to soften it. No different than using a brush. Look how beautiful that is. And if it had the second coat, it would just be absolutely perfect. Look at the edges. This is a game changer. I'm telling you, if you use your finger, it's going to make painting all these little pieces a snap and a dream, no more frustration, and all your pieces are going to be just absolutely perfect. And that's all there is to it. No more dreading those little details. This truly is a game changer. With this simple technique, your projects will look polished and professional in no time. If you enjoyed this tip, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with a friend. Give this a try and let me know what you think. I look forward to our next painting adventure together, and remember, a little bit of paint makes a big difference.